I'm an economist. So you ask an economist, how's your wife? They say, compared to who? Because everything's about a relevant alternative, right? There's no solutions, there's only trade-offs. So when it comes to things like third world sweatshops, so do we wish for better lives for the workers who live in them? Of course. But the question is, what are the realistic ways to get to better alternatives? I'm Benjamin Powell. I'm the executive director of the Free Market Institute at Texas Tech University, where I'm also a professor of economics in the Rawls College of Business. The reason they're taking those jobs is because it's their least bad of their already crappy alternatives. So we want to make really sure that we don't jeopardize their least bad solution to dealing with their poverty now. And we'd like to think about ways to see that we could get more competition, more productivity, things that raise their wages over time. But we have to realize those jobs exist now because compared to what they were doing prior, this is a step up. It's kind of like the first rung of the ladder of economic development as you're leaving subsistence agriculture or something slightly better than that. This is your first rung up line of manufacturing. I know of no country today that is rich that didn't go through something like a sweatshop stage of economic development. And as a result, it took a long time to get through that stage. But post-World War II, who are your sweatshop countries? There's South Korea, Taiwan, Hong Kong. They went in about a generation, about 30 years maybe, from pre-industrial to first world standard of living post sweatshops. And we're seeing this process play out even faster today in places like Vietnam, in the coastal regions of China. So a lot of people see sweatshops, they see people in unfortunate conditions, and they want to do something in the name of helping them, usually trying to impose better wages or better working conditions. And unfortunately, this ends up making the very people they're trying to help, worse off. So for example, let's take one that's would seem so clear-cut. Bangladesh in 2013 has the worst modern industrial disaster in the garment industry's history. In the aftermath of this, because the Bangladesh government wasn't putting in safety standards, there was something called the Accord and the Alliance that were formed. And it was basically multinational brands that dictated what safety standards had to be, or we're going to enforce a multi-brand boycott against you and won't buy from you. So this would seem like this is non-governmental and it's imposing safety for the workers after a tragic situation. But there's still a trade-off. Safety comes at a price. It's about 28% fewer jobs in the Bangladesh garment industry as a result of this. Except the workers in the Bangladesh garment industry are earning more than $5 a day. This is something that 51% of the country at this time period was earning under $3.65 a day. So it got you greater safety, but the alternative was about putting it to the size of the garment. A little over 1 million people didn't get jobs in the garment industry that otherwise would have, that are a big step up from the rural poverty that they were in before. People might disagree, but I think a reasonable weighting of this, even if these safety standards had the effect of preventing another Rana Plaza disaster, which seems unlikely since it was a huge outlier, but even if, how do we weigh that against over 1 million people escaping poverty?